among the guarantors in the draft that you sent us that you would like to sign, there was a new entity that we had never heard of before, called, I believe it was Lucy Family Real Estate Trust.
Correct. Lucy Family Trust, correct.
And I believe that some of the other guarantors were removed. And our question was, you know, what was the new entity? And, you know, we can include that going forward, but the other guarantors we want to remain.
Well, the other guarantors, I appreciate you may want them to remain, but they have, other than guaranteeing a construction loan, a one-year construction loan, they have nothing to do with this property. Their other properties, they have nothing to do with it. So there's, that came from confidential and highly confidential bank information, which you all had to sign confidentiality agreements to possess, just to review. But you know, this agreement is not going to be guaranteed by people who have nothing to do with this property. That was simply what Sandy Spring Bank required. You're not the lender. You're not the owner of the property. Those people have nothing to do with the property. The Lucy Family Trust is the entity that is the participating mortgage that Patty may remember. We spoke to David and Guy about how the kids are involved. So they've, from 2005 or 6, they loaned money to the assisted living as they were built up. So they have a participating mortgage, and that's how we pass things to the kids. So we're happy to have that entity. But again, all the other entities are different pieces of property with different lenders and different mortgages. It's simply, you know, it's just something that Sandy Spring wanted at the point in time, because Sandy Spring has a lot of different mortgages, but that doesn't mean they're going to in the future. In fact, we have other mortgages now with other banks, just because it's gotten big enough. So, you know, there's a cross collateralization for this transaction with a point in time, but, you know, taking things from a loan document, guarantors from a loan document, and trying to put them on something they have nothing to do with, and know that they have nothing to do with the operation of it. They have nothing to do with any revenue it's generated. They have nothing to do with any losses they're generating. You know, it's just, it's not something that's
our goal. Our goal here is to make sure that we have performance under this, under any agreements that we enter into, and that we have personal guarantees, and you know, not to have just a new entity of which we know nothing about the ownership or anything else. We can set this aside and leave that to lawyers, but you know, the overriding concern here is that we have personal guarantees if we were to grant an accommodation for a commercial business on Gibson Island. So we can move on.
Well, Louis, again, that the property is not right, but let me just make a statement. You talk about personal guarantees. People personally don't own the property, so the thing of value here is the property. And just like whoever negotiated the purchase of the water department, whoever originally negotiated the church property, whether it was given or sold, those people are no longer with us. Personal guarantees don't matter. It's the property you want, and obviously that's group home. You all know well is the owner of the property, so we can certainly leave it to lawyers. But there's nothing. Personal guarantee doesn't matter much. And you just made a comment about there being, you want to guarantee performance. The way to guarantee performance is with laws. And as I detailed for you all, if you have a problem with the septic system and you believe there's an issue, pick up the phone. Just like if I called on your house on Stillwater with a septic, pick up the phone, call the health department and say, there's raw septic on the ground. And a whole team from the county will come out that day or the next day and test the ground and test everything and go through everything in great detail. And there's no problem with you doing that. We can't say, well, that's a false police report. So you can do that every day. You can do that about zoning, environmental, you can do it, and they'll all come out and inspect. And it's been done. You all have done that. So that's the best, as I said in what we sent over. You know, you have many big sticks, and because this is for the disabled, You've got many more than just the zoning department and the health department. You have the ombudsman from the county. You have the Office of Healthcare Quality. You have an army of people that you can call every single day to make sure everything there is running perfectly. And that is a direct action or the license is gone. So, you know, you have complete control.